Rich Van Tassel back with you, continuing on with our recaps from the early set of games from now week 16 of the NFL season. The Chicago Bears 20-3 over the Cleveland Browns. Chicago improves to 5-10. Cleveland drops to 0-15. DeShone Kizer 18-36, 182 yards, no touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Isaiah Crowell, top rusher, 12 of 44, 3.7. Duke Johnson Jr., 4 of 25 yards per carry. DeShone Kizer, 3 of 8, 2.7. The team, 20 of 75, 3.8 yards per rush. Duke Johnson Jr., the top receiver, 7 of 81. Ricardo Lewis, 1 of 35. Rashard Higgins, 2 of 20. Josh Gordon, 2 of 19. Darren Smith recovered a fumble. Rashard Higgins lost a fumble. Jabril Peppers fumbled. It was not lost. The team had 5 sacks, 1 by Myles Garrett, a half by Joe Schobert and Jamar Taylor. Justin Curry, Larry Ogunjobi, and James Burgess Jr. No interceptions. Matthew Days, 1 kick return, 18 yards. Nate Orchard, 1 for 8. Jabril Peppers, 4 of 20. That was kick returns. Jabril Peppers, 4 of 27, returning punts. Zane Gonzalez, 1 for 1 in his field goals. For the Chicago Bears, Mitchell Trubisky, 14 of 23, 193 yards, no touchdowns, no interceptions. Jordan Howard, top rusher, 22 carries, 44 yards, 2 yards per rush, 2 touchdowns. Mitchell Trubisky, 7 of 44, 6.3 per rush, 1 touchdown. The team, 31 of 97, 3.1 yards per rush. That included a 16 and a 14-yarder by both Howard and Trubisky, so you take that off. That's 29 for 67, not very good. Benny Cunningham, 2 of 62. Josh Bellamy, 3 of 49 receiving. Kendall Wright, 4 of 27. Deion Sims, 1 of 24. Prince Amukamara recovered a fumble. Mitch Trubisky fumbled, and it was recovered by him. 1 sack was split. Sam Acho, Akeem Hicks, Bryce Callahan, Kyle Fuller both had interceptions. Benny Cunningham, 1 kick return, 28 yards. Roy Robertson Harris, 1 of 7. Tariq Cohen, 3 of 27. That was in the return game. And, of course, there was a field goal that I didn't mention Mike Nugent. Oh, no field goal, so he missed an extra point in this regard. Trubisky, good enough. He's shown some progression these last 3 weeks. That's very good for them. Obviously, the running game, which has been pretty solid all year, wasn't there today. For the Cleveland Browns, what can you say? I mean, I saw enough plays in this game to see why they struggle as much as they do. They recovered a fumble and then let it go out of the back of the end zone and stuff. It's just you can't comment on the Browns anymore. The New Orleans Saints, 23-13 over the Atlanta Falcons. New Orleans is 11-4. They are win and in for the division. They clinch a playoff spot. Atlanta will need to win next week to clinch a playoff spot. Matt Ryan, 22 of 36, 288 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Devontae Freeman, 11 carries, 36 yards, 3.3 per rush. Taylor Gabriel, 1 of 12. Tevin Coleman, 6 of 12. That's 12 yards and 2 yards per rush, respectively. 20 of 67 total, 3.3. Julio Jones, 7 receptions, 149 yards. Tevin Coleman, 4 of 40, a touchdown. Mohamed Sanu, 4 of 31. Taylor Gabriel, 1 of 20. Devontae Freeman lost a fumble. The team had 1 sack. It was Courtney Upshaw. Deion Jones, 1 interception, returned at 41 yards. Andre Roberts, 2 kick returns, 45 yards. Andre Roberts, 3 punt returns, 29 yards. Matt Bryant, 2 for 2 in his field goals. For the New Orleans Saints, Drew Brees, 21 of 28, 239 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Mark Ingram, 13 carries, 44 yards, 3.4 yards per rush, 1 touchdown. Alvin Kamara, 12 of 32, 2.7. The team, 31 of 86, 2.8 yards per rush. That did include 4 kneel downs for minus 4 yards by Drew Brees. Ted Ginn Jr., 4 receptions, 76 yards, 1 touchdown. Michael Thomas, 4 of 66. This is receiving. Alvin Kamara, 7 of 58. Monte Teo recovered a fumble. Drew Brees fumbled. It was not lost. Mark Ingram also recovered a fumble. 5 sacks, 1.5 by George Johnson, a half by David Onyemata. Cameron Jordan had 2. Sheldon Rankins the other. Marshawn Lattimore had an interception. Alvin Kamara, 2 kick returns, 72 yards, 36-yard average, longest of 49. However, you take that off. That's 1 for 23 yards, which isn't terrible, but obviously that's where the numbers get ballooned, the 49-yarder. Tommy Lee Lewis, 4 punt returns, 43 yards. Will Lutz, 3 for 3 in his field goals. Neither team ran the ball as I would have expected. Both have a set of 2 backs with Freeman and Coleman for the Falcons, Kamara and Ingram for the Saints. It really came down to Drew Brees making more plays than Matt Ryan, even though Matt Ryan's numbers were better. The defense was also better for the New Orleans Saints, which you don't often see, but it just shows the improvement that they've had this year. Atlanta will need to win next week to go to the playoffs. They could certainly clinch as well if the winner of the Cowboys-Seahawks game loses next week. Detroit eliminated from playoff contention as they lose 26-17 to the Cincinnati Bengals, who improved to 6-9. Detroit drops to 8-7. Matthew Stafford, 19 of 35, 203 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Tion Green, the top rusher, 7 of 43, 6.1 per rush, 1 touchdown. Amir Abdullah, 6 of 21, 3.5. The team, 22 of 87, 4 yards per rush. It's actually slightly below 4 yards exactly. Would be 22 of 88. Eric Ebron, top receiver, 5 of 83, 1 touchdown. Marvin Jones Jr., 3 of 50. Kenny Galladay, 4 of 28. Theo Riddick, 3 of 23. So the distribution was there all year for the Detroit Lions. No fumbles. It's not showing me the defensive statistics. No interceptions. Amir Abdullah, 5 kick returns, 114 yards, 22.8, longest of 29. Not very good. Matt Prater, 1 for 2 in his field goals for the Bengals. Andy Dalton, 27 of 41, 238 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Giovanni Bernard, 23 carries, 116 yards, 5 yards per rush, 1 touchdown. Brian Hill, 4 of 17, 4.3. The team altogether 34 of 142, 4.2 yards per rush. That included 3 for -1 by Andy Dalton and 1 for -2 by Josh Malone. So they ran the ball very well. That running game was there all season. Might have been a different story for the Bengals. A.J. Green, 6 receptions, 81 yards. Giovanni Bernard, 7 of 52. Tyler Boyd, 5 of 39. That's receiving. C.J. Uzuma had the 1-yard touchdown. Ryan Glasgow recovered a fumble. Alex Erickson fumbled. It was not lost. 2 sacks. One by Carl Lawson, the other by Carlos Dunlap. Vincent Ray had an interception. Alex Erickson, 2 kick returns, 27 yards, 1 punt return, 3 yards. Randy Bullock, 4 for 4 in his field goals. For Cincinnati, nice that they got the win in their last home game. Again, they ran the ball very well. That wasn't there for them all season. For Detroit, when Matt Stafford is not spectacular, you're going to struggle like this. There was a good defensive line. They actually ran the ball pretty effectively. Tion Green, they found him just a bit late, and just too much was expected of Matthew Stafford this year, and he couldn't carry them any farther than he was able to do up to this point, and that's why they were eliminated from the playoffs. The Rams wrap up the division 27-23 over Tennessee. Rams are now 11-4. Tennessee drops to 8-7. The Rams are very impressive, 7-1 on the road. Jared Goff, 22 of 38, 301 yards, 4 touchdowns, no interceptions. Johnny Hekker threw a pass on a fake punt and was incomplete. Todd Gurley, 22 carries, 118 yards, 5.4 per rush. Malcolm Brown, 104. Jared Goff, 3 for -6. That's 26 of 146 total, including those numbers by Goff, so very good. 4.5 yards average. Todd Gurley, top receiver, 10 of 158, 2 touchdowns. Cooper Kupp, 4 of 65, 1 touchdown. Robert Woods, 3 of 33. Sammy Watkins, 3 of 31, touchdown. Andrew Whitworth recovered a fumble. Jared Goff fumbled twice, lost one of them. 1 sack was Corey Littleton. He also had an interception. Farrell Cooper, 4 kick returns, 87 yards, 21.8, longest of 28. He had 1 punt return for 3 yards. Sam Ficken, who was replacing Greg Zuerlein, missed his field goal. That's something to keep an eye on for the Rams moving forward. I'm sure they'll probably bring another kicker in and work those kinks out next week. Marcus Mariota, 22 of 39, 275 yards, no touchdowns, 1 interception. DeMarco Murray, 15 carries, 48 yards, 3.2 per rush, 1 touchdown. Derrick Henry, 8 of 25, 3.1. Marcus Mariota, 3 of 24, 8 yards per rush. 26 of 97, 3.7 yards per rush. That running game has been failing, and basically everything is falling apart for the Tennessee Titans at this point. Corey Davis, 6 receptions, 91 yards. Eric Decker, 6 of 73. Rashard Matthews, 2 of 48. Delaney Walker, 3 of 33 receiving. Wesley Woodyard recovered a fumble. Marcus Mariota fumbled and recovered. The team had no sacks, no interceptions. Adoree Jackson, 3 kick returns, 109 yards, 36.3, longest of 57. However, you take that off, that's 2 of 52, though, which is still over 25 yards per return, so that's good. He had 2 punt returns for 12 yards. Ryan Suckup, 3 for 4 in his field goals. The Rams, Todd Gurley, very impressive. A lot of talk about his MVP case. I did a show on it, actually. I think more of the credit has to go to Sean McVay and changing that offense around. I'm not saying Todd Gurley hasn't been spectacular. He has, but you got to look much more at Sean McVay. As for Tennessee, you're not running the ball. You're going to really struggle. Marcus Mariota is just not getting the job done. Maybe I had too much of high hopes for him coming into this year, but he is really disappointed. The Los Angeles Chargers stay alive by beating the Jets 14-7. Los Angeles is now 8-7. The Jets drop to 5-10. Phillip Rivers, 22 of 40, 290 yards. 1 touchdown, no interceptions. Melvin Gordon, 19 carries, 81 yards, 4.3 per rush, 1 touchdown. Brandon Oliver, 8 of 9, 1.1. The team, 30 of 89, 3 yards per rush. You look, if you take that off, Travis Benjamin going 19 of 81. The rest of the team went 11 for 7 yards. Not good at all. Antonio Gates, top receiver, 6 of 81, 1 touchdown. Keenan Allen, 5 of 63. Tyrell Williams, 5 of 50. Melvin Gordon, 3 of 47. Casey Hayward and Hayes Pullard III both recovered fumbles. Phillip Rivers fumbled and recovered. The team had 3 sacks. Kyle Emanuel and Jaleel Adai split one. Isaac Rochelle had the other. Keenan Allen had an interception on a Hail Mary at the end of the half. That's why you had a receiver back there getting an interception. No kick returns. Travis Benjamin, 3 punt returns, 29 yards, 9.7 average. Pretty good. Nick Rose missed his only field goal attempt. For the Jets, Bryce Petty got the start again. Was a little better, but still not very good. 15 and 28, 119 yards. No touchdowns, 1 interception. Bilal Powell, 19 carries, 145 yards, 7.6, 1 touchdown. Did have a 57-yarder, however. You take that off, he was still well above 4, though. Bryce Petty, 3 of 33, 11 yards. Matt Forte, 8 of 19, 2.4 per rush. The team, 30 of 197, 6.6 yards per rush. Robbie Anderson, 5 of 51 receiving. Jermaine Kearse, 5 of 42. Austin Seferian-Jenkins, 4 of 21. Matt Forte and Elijah McGuire both recovered fumbles, so some turnovers were an issue. No sacks, no interceptions, no kick returns. Jojo Natson, 7 punt returns, 30 yards, 4.3. Not very good with the longest of 11. Chandler Cantizeri missed his only field goal. The Jets were clearly going to come apart when they put Bryce Petty in, as you've seen. They were game in this one, but they just don't have enough offense once McCown went down. For the Chargers, they ran the ball pretty well with Melvin Gordon. The rest of the team was not very good. They played sloppy, but they got the win, and it's just, move forward and do what you got to do next week and hope things fall into place. Phillip Rivers could be a little bit more sharp. All right, when the other games go final, the 4 o'clock games, we'll give you the recap of those. Be sure to stay tuned, and remember, we appreciate all subscriptions as well. Thank you.